Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Lockdown Lowdown, a video series designed specifically for installers to aid with the fault finding, diagnostics and repair across our range of products. I'm Paul from Mira Showers, and in this video we'll be looking at no flow faults on electric showers. I hope you find this useful. Before starting any in-depth fault finding, it's a good idea just to remove the handset and hose from the shower, just to remove those from the fault finding equation in case there are any blockages. Another easy thing to check is the actuator on the rear of the shower cover. Any misalignment from the installation or damage to these could prevent these hitting the latching switch and therefore stopping the flow. Besides the obvious, the water and the electrical supply, the best thing to check for a no flow fault on an electric shower is actually the double pole isolator, or the pull cord switch as it's commonly known. One way to test this, if you have a shower which is installed with a neon, is to actually turn the shower on. When you press the power button, you'll notice that the neon, which was once partially illuminated, starts to dim or goes out completely. The same can be said sometimes for the neon, which is actually on the double pole isolator or pull cord as well. If that goes out as soon as you actually try to energise the shower, it's a dead giveaway that it's the double pole isolator. The way to confirm this is by checking the voltage to the shower. Rather than the 230 to 240 that you'd expect, a faulty double pole will often give around 90 volts. If having checked the voltage to the shower and found that it's the 230 to 240 volts that we would recommend, the next thing to check is the latching switch. If it is the case that the double pole isolation switch needs repair or replacement, we would always advocate that this is done by somebody who's suitably competent and suitably qualified. But you knew I was going to say that. The latching switch energises the solenoid coil, which allows the water to flow. The latching switch can be easily removed and tested for continuity using a multimeter. Continuity of the latching switch can be tested in situ. If there is no continuity with the latching switch closed, it will be this component that is at fault. As testing for continuity is a process which should be done when the product is dead, we would always advocate a full safe isolation and lock-off procedure is undertaken by a competent person before attempting this process. If continuity can be achieved on the latching switch in the closed position, then the next component to check will be the solenoid coil. The solenoid coil is easily removed either with the plug-in connector or spade connections on the terminal to the coil. A slotted screwdriver or set of water pump pliers can be used to remove the solenoid coil from its mounting on the flow valve. Faulty solenoid coils can be tested for continuity using a multimeter. An indication on the multimeter for open leg would indicate damage to the coil itself and therefore require the replacement of this component. Having gone through that process of elimination, I'm hoping by now that you would have fixed it. I trust this video has been useful, and as I've said before, if you do have any suggestions or requests as to what we can cover off next, then absolutely get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. All that's left to say is stay safe. Thanks for watching.